Hi, my name is Patrick and this particular video is a solution for the IPMAT 2022 paper from INDORE. So this is part 3 of the series. In each part I am trying to solve 4 questions. The focus is to get shortcut method, better ways to solve. Only if you are able to solve in a shorter method will you be able to do it faster and therefore get a better solution and faster solutions. A lot of solutions that are given to you are basically lengthy mathematical solutions. And they are not really good as far as exam is concerned. When you're looking at aptitude examination, speed is important, and to build up speed you need to get better methods to solve those. So let's focus on that. Let's look at a few questions and try to solve. Now this is one of the questions which looks very complicated. It is, I'm not saying no, but let's try to understand the question and solve. The median value of the sequence A, B, C, D. So when you have 4 numbers A, B, C, D, the median value is nothing but the average of the middle two values. If you put in ascending order, the average of the middle two value is the median value. Which means I have to first put in ascending order. But I don't know the value of sine theta, cos theta. So what I'll do is I'll assume the value of theta which I understand. I understand 30 degree. 30 degree comes between 0 and 45 degree. So I'll put theta as 30 degree and solve. So I put theta as 30 degree and solve. What do I get the values? This first is A. Right, A is, remember, sine 30 will be half. I mean, you need to know sine 30, cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So substitute that. I mean, if you do, you should know at least the triangle 30, 60, 90 triangle. When you have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, right, it's basically 1 root 3, 2. So when you say sine 30 is opposite upon hypotenuse, which is 1 upon 2, and cos 30 is adjacent upon hypotenuse, which is root 3 upon 2. Now substitute here. So half raised to half log to the base 2 root 3 upon 2. Okay, B, if I look at it, is nothing but root 3 upon 2 raised to half log to the base 2 half sine theta. C, if I look at it, half raised to root 3 upon 2, okay, log to the base 2 cos theta root 3 upon 2. Last is D, half raised to half log to the base 2 sine theta half. Now there are two things. One is log to log and one is the normal power. Let's try to understand each of them. Let's try to understand log. Now if you know the log graph, I mean it is good to know the graph because it's easier to solve. Log of 1 is 0. Okay, log of 1 is 0, and then as in when you go lesser than 1 the value becomes negative, which means both log of root 3 upon 2 and log of half is negative. Okay, understand that log of half and log of root 3 upon 2 both are negative. So I'm just trying to understand the fundamentals. Also, if you look at half as such is less than root 3 upon 2, so half will be more negative. Remember, log half will be more negative than log of root 3 upon 2. If it's more negative, that means log of half in terms of value is less than log of root 3 upon 2. Right? Log of half is less than log of, or it will be more negative. Log of half is basically more negative. Now we got one part of it, log, which is there. In that case, I can compare maybe A and D. So if I compare A and D, half raised to half is same, but log of half is more negative than log of root 3 upon 2. Okay, and since it's more negative, it will be smaller. So D will be smaller than A, right? What you get is D is smaller than A, because if I compare it, half raised to half is same. So you have log 2 raised to half. So based on this funda, log of half will be less than log of 3 upon 2 because it's more negative, and therefore A will be more than D. Right. Now let's look at the other parts of it. I mean half raised to half. Now if you look at B and D, if I compare B and D, right? If I compare B and D, if you look at log of half is same. So what we are comparing is half raised to half, and we are comparing root 3 upon 2 raised to half. Half raised to half and root 3 upon 2 raised to half. Okay, that's what we are comparing. Now since root 3 upon 2 is bigger, okay, since root 3 upon 2 is bigger, therefore B would be obviously bigger than D. So I'll get B bigger than D in terms of value, But remember, they both are negative because log 2 to raised to half and log 2 raised to half is negative. So technically D will become more than B. Okay, because both are negative. If they were positive, B would have been bigger than D. But since they are negative, okay, D will be bigger than D. I'll repeat this. Remember, root 3 upon 2 is bigger than half. So if you raised to power of half, automatically root 3 upon 2 raised to half will be bigger than half raised to half. That's what it is. But since both the values are negative, because log is negative, therefore more negative will give you smaller value. Since more negative will give you smaller value, you will automatically make out that root 3 upon 2 raised to half will be smaller than half raised to half because it is negative. Let's compare A and C. Again, if you compare A and C, you will realize that log to the base 2 root 3 upon 2 is same. If that is same, what we are comparing is half raised to half and half raised to 3 by root 3 by 2. If the base value is smaller than 1, more the power, okay, it will become smaller and smaller. More is a power, it will become smaller and smaller. Which means if you look at technically half raised to 3 by 2 is, root 3 by 2 is less than half raised to half. But understand both the values are negative. Okay, both the values are negative, therefore the sign will change and C will become bigger than A. Right? Because log of root 3 upon 2 and log of root 3 upon 2 is negative. So automatically when you put in ascending order, A and D are the middle values. And therefore the median will be the average of the two, A plus B upon 2. I mean, you don't have to do complicated log or power calculation. You need to understand the fundamentals and just apply it. Okay, the fundamental basically is that you need to understand that log half and log root 3 upon 2 is negative, obviously because it's less than 1. And you need to know that log of root 3 upon 2 is less negative than log of half. So log of half is less than log of 3 upon 2. That's one part. Also, you need to know that powers, how the power changes when the value changes of the power. And with that, you should be able to get the answer quickly. I mean, that's how it should go. Okay, let's look at next sum. Sum of first 15 terms of an arithmetic progression is 200. Okay, what will be a sum and a sum of next 13? So we have 15 terms. Okay, and then next 15 terms. That means, so you have first to 15 term which is there. First to 15 term, the average is the middle term. I always start AP arithmetic progression with the average. Average is the middle term, and the middle term will be 200 upon 15. Average, right? Sum upon n. Average will be 200 upon 15, and the middle term is the 8th term. How do you get the 8th term? 1 plus 15 upon 2, which is the 8th term. First plus last term divided by 2 is the middle term. Same in next 15 term, 16 to 30th term. The average will be the middle term. Average will be 350 upon 15. Remember, average is sum upon n, right? And it will be nothing but 16 plus 38 upon 2 term, which is the 23rd term. Now, if you look at difference between the 8th and the 23rd term is 15 terms. The difference between 8th term and 23rd term is 15 terms. And difference in the values is from 200 upon 15 to 350 upon 15. Which comes to 150 upon 15 or 10. Difference between 350 upon 15 and 200 upon 15 is nothing but 150 upon 15, 10. So in 15 values, the value changes by 10. So D will become 10 upon 15, which is 2 upon 3. B option. I don't believe in writing too many formulas, because that makes you slow. If you really want to crack the IPMAT exam, you need to know the methods to solve it faster. Few seats, and therefore you need to be good in terms of methods, and that will make a difference in terms of how you score better than the others, right? So look at this formula, understand the method, and you will understand how to solve this faster. Okay, matrices. Now they have not given you value of A, B, C. An easy way to do this sum is put values for that. I put C, B and A, like how in the sine cos sum I assume 30 degree. Here I can also assume value and then try to solve. It becomes easier and faster to solve. So if I put the value 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, and if I solve, so it will become 3 into 1 into 2 minus 3 into 3, right? Then minus 2 into 2 minus 1 into 3, and plus 1 into 2 into 3 minus 1 into 1. If you solve this, okay, 3 is a 9, 9 minus 2 7 and minus 21. Here it is 6, 6 minus 3 is 3, becomes 6 if you look at it, right? If I take 2, it becomes say minus 2, my mistake, 2 into 2 out here, 4 minus 3, 1, 1 minus 2 will give you minus 2. 2 into 2 minus 3 into 1. And then last plus 6 minus 1, 5, you will get 5. Technically you get minus 18, negative. Since you get negative, you can directly mark negative. Though there is an option called positive and negative, but if you see the values properly, you will see a into a square, a cube is negative, it will become very high negatives. Others are not so much, and that will tilt the balance. If you're not sure and you still want to calculate, substitute a value. I mean, put 3 as a, b, c minus a square minus b, b square minus a into c plus c, a into b minus c square. If you expand this, what do you get? abc minus a cube minus b cube plus abc plus abc minus c cube. So you can put negative value, it becomes a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc. Since a, b, c are integers more than 0, technically this value should be positive. I mean, I took small 1, 2, 3 value, I got negative value. If I take bigger value of a, b, c, a cube, b cube, c cube will be very large. So automatically this has to be positive. So negative outside, so the whole value will be negative. You can mark negative. You can also put a formula for a cube, b cube, c cube up minus 3abc. If you know, it is a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc plus ca, which is also positive. So you will get overall negative. So you can substitute the values and put it. That's the easier and faster way to go, or you can solve by equations. And we have A ratio 2022. Now understand, in a sum like this, whenever you have very large sum like this value, you'll always have a pattern, and normally easy sums to solve. Just try to find the pattern. For example, let me try to solve a square, a into a, which is nothing but 1 raised to half 0 0. So you should know how to solve this. When you solve 1 into 1 plus 0 into half will be 1. This is 0. This becomes half. Okay, half into 1 and 0 into half, 0 0. So you get the same value, a. Okay, you get it as a. So a square is a. So a cube will be a square into a, which will also give you a, and so on. So you will realize all the powers of a comes back to a. Therefore the answer is none of these. So you get a pattern. So a square is same, a cube is same. So automatically you realize all the patterns are same, and therefore answer is none of these. So learn to solve in a short-term manner, and you will be able to do well in the exam. Thank you.